so much for coming. Did you find the office okay? Great. I'm so happy. You did get here a little bit early. Oh, yeah. There wasn't any traffic. How lucky. There's usually traffic at this time. So I'll introduce myself. My name is Rebecca. I'm the one you've been speaking with through email. It's so great to put a face with the name. Do you have any questions about the job description? Okay, good. Then I'll proceed with the interview. So I want to start off by asking you what interested you in this position here with us. I do see that you were a secretary in your previous position for about 4 years. Yeah, that's great. And exactly what duties did you do there? And which ordering systems did you use in your previous position? That's perfect. That's exactly what we use here. So if you're the chosen candidate, it sounds like you'll be able to jump right in and get to your work duties. Yeah. And if I take a brief pause or there's a moment of silence, please don't think that I'm ignoring you. I'm just writing down the answers to make sure that I can reflect back on them later. So which job duties from your previous position do you think will transfer well over into this one? Oh, okay. And how often did you do that? 3 days out of the week. Okay. Yeah, you won't have to manage any calendars here, but that is great that you have the experience to do that. And you will be dealing with Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, and a few other programs like that. What experience do you have with those? Okay. Yeah, and if you're not familiar with it, that's always something that we would train you on later. Now, because you haven't really done a position exactly like this in the past, I want to know what about the job description that you looked over did you find the least interesting? Okay, so for that will only be a small portion of your job duties, maybe about once a week. Would that be okay? Okay, good. Okay, so now that we know a little bit more about your interest in this position and your experience related to this position, I would like to hear about what you think some of your strengths are overall. And they can be personal strengths or business-related strengths. Oh, you're organized. That's great because this position will require you to juggle multiple tasks at one time. Yeah, if you're organized, it does make it much, much easier. Well, having a flexible schedule is very important. You would have regular hours here, but sometimes we may need you on the weekends, or if we're expecting a package to come later in the evening, we may need you to stay a little bit late. Well, those are great strengths. Now I want to ask you, what do you think is your biggest weakness? Oh, you're a perfectionist. Yeah, and there are a lot of people like that. And so whenever you feel like things need to be perfect, but you either don't have the time or the resources to make them perfect, how do you cope with that? What do you do? That's great. And since you're going to be working with myself and 2 other people, what kind of work environment do you like to work in? Yeah. And what type of leadership do you like to be managed under? Okay, yeah, that will work perfect because we're actually very hands-off. We prefer to have somebody in the position who can, take the initiative and be proactive and do things themselves, and that we don't have to consistently repeat how to do something. And as I said, this position will cover multiple different duties, which you'll have to do simultaneously, which at times can get stressful. So tell me, what do you do to manage stressful situations? See, that's perfect. Perfect. Yeah, since you are organized, I can see how that would be a really good benefit to manage stress whenever you have multiple tasks going on. Yeah. And what motivates you? So, how do you prioritize the work when you're organizing it? Oh, that's perfect. Yes, definitely the things that are due soonest should be done first. What if you have something that's due at the end of the day, but somebody else asks you for something else by the end of the day and you don't have time to do both? What would you do in that situation? Exactly, and that's why communication is so important. And I do like to ask just a sillier question in my interviews, just to let you show your personality a little bit more. So I want to know, if you could be any animal, which animal would you be? Oh, a giraffe. And why so? Okay, yeah. It would be really nice to be able to see things from a different point of view. Well, I think that's a great answer. Now, I've asked you all the questions that I need to ask you for this round of the interview. So, do you have any questions for me? Yeah, so the hours for this position are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can take an hour break. If you need to leave early for any reason, you can either take a shorter break or come in early. Your schedule is very flexible, and we also can be very flexible. We just ask that you're here whenever there's going to be a package, or if you need to let anybody into the building. Yeah. Alright, well, I think that sums up the interview. Thank you so much for coming today. We really appreciated it. Yeah. Yep, and we'll definitely be in touch. We do have a few more interviews, so you should hear from us from the end of the week. If you have any questions or you